We got ourselves Carly going to be first up over for the team one with Chicago dropping down their Earth Ellie pretty quickly. Cheap shot onto the road. Carly trying to see if they can make the Outlaw work with the Kyrian Burst. So that's going to be potentially maybe the Kyrian Shadow Dust Legendary. Big Earth Shock with an Ellie Blast by Chicago. Getting some major damage to Carly. Carly having to go for a Vantage, trying to find himself a quick escape out of the onslaught by the Shaman. The Shaman was able to turn around in just 3 globals. Absolutely just blasted the rogue. Someone must have crit. Carly does get himself a bit of a reset. If only Shamans could get access to control their pets, Ghost Wolf and Earth Elemental, you'd be able to much easier deal with some of these stealthies. But in the current state of the pets the pets just will just auto attack somebody that you are attacking. But if you're just not attacking anything, they just won't even aggro to anything at all, which works out for PvE combat. But in PvP, man, that wouldn't be nice if you could just like control. You kind of like a hunter controls their pet. You summon Ghost Wolves, you can control them to attack. And it used to be a thing too. Carly getting hit with the Earth Shock does go for a disarm on Chicago. Chicago's limited amount of maelstrom they have. Do continue to get some big blasters onto Carly anyway. Click shot is by the rogue. Chicago with the Aegis Trinket in case there's any magic damage out of the rogue. Maybe there's going to be Resonator. Blind onto the Chamois. And Carly is looking for the reset. Does Chicago have a Trinket? They do. So potentially could Trinket, could wall out of this one. But that's going to be a sap onto Chicago. That's Carly. I mean, what else do you really got? I think it's going to probably be a Resonator play, right? Unless yep, there goes the Resonator. Chicago's going to have to Trinket, I think. Trinket wall. No, not Trinket wall, and just going to go for a heal. Wall did have to get through it as Carly get himself a nice big pistol shot crit versus Chicago, but it's going to be Mad Shade Harvest. Carly sells a Flame Shock on him, but doesn't play into the Stealth Shield trait or Condi. Does get himself a restyle. Sunder does get him out in the open. Trinket Sunder full, but it's going to be Chicago with no weapons. But does have Lightning in his hands. Range to take the rogue down. With Zapithor is going to be up next. Chicago recovering plenty. Sunder to Zappy with a Storm Capacitor Totem. I wanted to call it Stormkeeper for a second. Storm Strike Totem. I feel like it should have been a Storm Strike Totem-esque. Zap does get himself that Ascendant. It's not a real Ascendant Salad. Just Ascendant Legendary. Chicago gets hit with a Lag Spike. Okay, so Chicago plays the Earth Spike, but it looks like Zappy plays a Lag Spike. That was very unfortunate for Chicago. Looks like the lag when they were trying to escape the Ellie Shaman, and the Ellie Shaman already was inside a cooldown, so he was able to burst him down fairly quickly. That is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Kargath does play into the Feigned Death removal of all the dots Lego, but it's going to knock him up in air. Left Feigned Death isn't going to keep him Feigned Death for long. Going to be a quick flash god. Does have an interrupt for it. Zap trying to see if he can get himself a little bit of healing. Kargath has a pet slamming out at him. Zap has no mana whatsoever left over. Definitely needs to do something versus the Hunter in order to survive. Looks like it's going to be the Necrolord. Big cheat death mechanic at the very end. Zap is just continuing to get whatever damage you can get versus Kargath, but I think he's just kind of out of options. Trying to see if he can drop down the capacitor at the very end. But at least was able to zap out your boy Chicago, which is super unfortunate at the same time. Seaver going to be next. He got himself, we got himself Pharaoh, Rogue, a Warlock, as well as the Hunter to deal with. Looks like the Hunter is immediately sending on the pet. It's going to be a barrage for Seaver. That's going to be a flame shot on the Mage. He's going to have to find a way to deal with the dots. Going to be all the time immediately in case there's damage out of Kargath. Try to see if he can hit him with a slow. Can reposition right next to him. Definitely needs to find a way to lock him down. Needs to get himself a Polymorph. If he can get himself a Poly, then I think he'll be in an okay-ish spot. But otherwise, yeah. Got himself a bit of AoE going on. Freezing Trap is going to stop him for a second as he tries to go for a quick invis. Going to be an interrupt, potentially. No, actually, Kargath did not use a counter shot just yet, but still continues to take a little bit of damage from the Archmage, who just can't slow down. He can't really stop for a second to get a full cast off. Shouldn't power with an all time available, trying to get himself a lot of cooldown reduction, and they got himself a big defensive in case things go bad. Kargath does go for Fade Death. Mad Barrage. Oh, Fever just pops off with big damage, just kind of out of left field. Just even wait. I just say, you know what? I don't need to get myself. I want to get a touch of the magic full burst, but I can't. I just gotta go. I just want him blasting. And hoping he gets a procs. Gonna be Drowsy as a Necrolord Affliction. I am interested. Color me interested. Because actually, there is a build for Affliction Warlocks and a Necrolord. You play a Malefic Rapture Legendary, and you go for a Mad Shadow Bolts. I want to know if he's playing a match-outable build. I guess we'll find out. Seaverk is able to at least harass the pet for a little bit. Try to see if he can take it out. He's going to be able to eliminate it. Drives to try to see if he can summon a fresh new one. Quick Fear onto Seaverk. Is going to be able to get some dots in it. Cast Circle is down. Should be able to get some cast off. Polymorph is going to stop in place for a second. Seaverk is going to go for an ulti time. Decimated Bolt into Seaverk. Does play into the proper build. Does he play into the Drain build or Shadow Bolts? I imagine Shadow Bolts, right? Mad damage on the Seaverk. All the time is still on him. It's going to be able to recover a lot of that damage. That's going to be Shadow Bolts flying. Actually gets some mad balls. Oh my god, tries to get some damage of his own. I think Seaverk got himself another ulti time. He literally got another ulti time with that shift power. Double ulti time. That is massive. It is going to be able to reposition. Got himself plenty of health. Literally having to play for abilities. The reverse time as well as his health bar. Some dots get it set up on the Seaverk. Can at least remove Agony. But the other dots like Corruption, UA, all that stuff is going to stay. Drowsy does have a pretty big shield. Necklord shield together with a Dark Pact. Mad damage coming out for Seaverk with another Poly. Got himself a big Arcanosphere. Does have mad cool that's available. Is he going to combine it? He's going to go for a big Blaster play. Big Barrage. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's so much burst out of the both of them. And the fact that Seaverk survived, dude, he made so aggressive with them all the times. It is incredible. Super aggressive. With Scripper going to be up next. Quick leap on to Seaverk. Does himself a blink together with an ulti time immediately. That's going to be a quick barrage to chase Scrippy away. Got himself shit in power. Potentially could go for a ulti time. Put him back next to the Feral. Quick Nova. He's trying to get a Polymer, but I don't know if he's really going to be able to do much with a Poly. Scoopy is just trying to see if he can max out some damage. Another ulti time available for Seaverk. What is this ulti time strat, man? He's just able to always have it. Literally able to alter every single global. I think it's just the together with mad cooldown reduction, right? That or something else. I'm not even sure. But it's really, really good. And oh, wait. Your Arcane Familiar is, like I said, hitting through the wall. That's kind of crazy. Gonna be Seaverk trying to see if he can maybe reposition versus Squippy. Got himself a bit of a primordial, a little bit of a temporal roll, and then temporal is gonna be like all the time without putting you back in the same spot. It'll basically like accumulate the damage you take and will heal you for that amount, but it will get reduced with dampening. Temporal is something mages used to have a lot before everybody got all the time. And now that everybody has all the time, only Arcane has temporal. See, we're trying to send out a random orb. Quick mass invis as the Feral trying to get an opener. Looks like Seaverk can't do much about it. Proper invis comes out for 60% damage reduction. Still has an ice bucket in case things go really, really rough. Knocking back Scooper for just a second. He is in a tight situation all the time. Oh man, unless you get a global there. To go for an ice bucket, there's not much you can do. I think it was spam and ice bucket immediately. But that was a pretty big bite of Scoopy. I think may have gotten the crit. That does put you in a tight situation. Plus, I don't even honestly know how an Arcane Mage is supposed to deal with a Feral Druid. Is there even a possibility? Like, could he actually win? I feel like back in BFA you could when you had a lot of survivability as Arcane with all the Azurites. But nowadays, I don't know if you can. Power shifting, you can't even Nova them. You can't polymorph to set him up. Man, I just didn't feel like blocking lol. Fair enough, fair enough. Fair enough. It may be one of those matchups you can't win. Yeah, maybe just one of those matchups that you can't really do much about. Unless the Feral makes like a mad mistakes. Yeah, I'm really hoping that I'm hoping big time for some of the talent changes for mages in Dragonflight. Freeze trap to Squippy as the Dragonflight just gotta praying for the Feral just to walk a little closer, just touch his ball on the trap, and just get reset. Mark onto Squippy. Got himself a big old Fleshcraft ready to go. DJ Flex does get himself a lot of recovery inside of the camo. We're hitting that 9-minute mark, boys. We got us a 25% dampening. You basically got a perma mortar strike effect. All your healing is reduced. Any other healing reductions are just going to amplify and get the enemy closer into that into the death. Throwing down a tar trap on the poor guy with a flame shot around. Kill shots to follow. That's going to be ruined by Squippy. At least trying to control the hunter as best as possible, but that long range grenades are coming through. With Squippy with a bark skin, I believe a natural order tanky legendary this time. So he got himself lots of ability. Kill shots are still going through. Barkskin is there to protect him for a little bit. Cat from backup. Feign death for a moment. As he tried to go in, he gets hit with a freeze. So it's a scary beast. Is going to force him out of the cat from with a stun. Going to be a wall for Squippy. As he does get hit with a stun. That's perfect wall right there. Pre-walling the damage. GG got himself some cooldowns rolling in. Got himself a root with a stun. Oh, DJ got himself mad. Kill shots to follow. I think Squipper might be done and done right now. Dawson just standing him over the edge. Another kill shot to follow. Serpent Stick going after Housemith still alive. Oh my god, bashing in the bed, trying to go for a cycle, needs himself a heal right now, trying to build some calm points, but it looks like he was going to go down either way. I think he tried to build up calm points off of the pet to get himself a finisher, to get an instant cast regrowth. At that point, he's just doing everything he can in order to come back. And Errol is going to be the last one for the team 2 on that cleanup duty. Freezing trap around the corner. He's going to get hit by it as he goes in for some damage. I like your mark, by the way. It's all over the place a little bit, but I do like the shoulders. They're just so bulky. I really do like them. Gonna be a kid shot on DJ. Errol is trying to see if maybe the resonator will be enough. No chicken available for DJ. I think it might be over unless he doesn't get the crits he needs. Bait down by DJ with a steel trap. Errol just continues to get stuns on him back to back. But the hunter is able to break away. Gonna be full dots. If they challenge Errol, he better be careful. Kill shots could be very, very deadly. DJ got himself a nice position behind the pillar, able to get himself a little bit of recovery. Errol is getting harassed by the pet. It looks like he's going to focus down on pet for quite a bit. Stun, trigger around the corner. Kill shots are just absolutely displaying him open. That's going to be a advantage, but the freezing trap stops him. Player on the ground. Does he have another shadow step? If he has a shadow step, he may be okay. That's why DJ is backing up out of there. Literally going to another zip code. He doesn't want the step to connect. Smoke bomb, shadow step, doesn't quite get him. Bane does for a moment. Does he finish him right here? Is it potentially going to be the hit? Needs another crit to happen. Turtle right after. Airless is alive for just a little bit longer though. Trying to stay next to DJ as best as possible. DJ got himself a little bit of healing. Airless got himself shadow blades. Freezing trap for a moment. Does he have another shadow step? Jesus just trying to see if he can maximize that range. Definitely needs to get some souls under Airless. Lobbing up the nades with a flame shot to follow. Kill shot could be deadly. I think he has him right here. Kill shot, but it's going to be a cheap shot. Airless got himself a little bit of survivability. I think it's over though. The pet does take him over the edge. Man, that was a close one. That was a close duel, boys. Oh my God, I enjoyed that one. Let's go. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That was good, man. That was awesome. Man. I really would have loved to see the mage go for a little bit longer because I love the burst. I want to see more of that Affliction Warlock Shadow Bolts. That man actually had a setup.